Tuesday, the 9th of July, and we're looking at the daily astrology for today. So what we're going to be doing is just looking at the astrology chart drawn up. You should have that by now, and we'll just work our way through the little bits and pieces that we've got here. Okay, so everything above the horizon is the stuff in the sky right now as I'm talking to you. Everything below the horizon is on the other side of the Earth. The horizon is what we call the ascendant and the descendant, and the zodiac signs are moving this way. So we have Sagittarius on the ascendant, and it's rising, Sagittarius rising. And at the top of the chart on the midheaven, we have Virgo. I was sorry about that, Virgo. I was looking at something else and got distracted. And I was going to explain to you and decided not to, but I will now. The reason that this arrow is not going straight up is because of the relationship between the sun and the earth. There is a skewed relationship. And what happens during the year is it means that there is a distortion from where you or I are standing on this earth with the observer. There's a distortion between the observer and what is called the midheaven. There we are, I've explained it now. So I stuttered because I thought, shall I explain that now? And I thought, no, quick, say the zodiac sign. Anyway, the other reason for looking at Virgo is that the moon has moved into Virgo and is now at 01 of Virgo. And yesterday when I was talking about the moon being in Leo, I was saying how difficult it must be for the scared, fearful little moon to be going through all that burning drama. I guess the moon's happier in Virgo, although the moon is a water element. Water and of course earth are both feminine, so the moon is more comfortable in the feminine sign of Virgo. Virgo is the middle earth sign and therefore the most painful of the three earth signs. Okay, so Virgo has a poor reputation for being critical, but an excellent reputation for wanting to help. So always bear in mind, if you're at the sharp end of Virgo and criticism, that it's actually somebody who is really trying to help you. And sometimes it needs to be remembered like that. Okay, the actual aspect I want to look at today is the Sun trine Saturn, because that is very close. The Sun is at 1757, so we could say 18 degrees of Cancer. And Saturn is at 19 degrees of Cancer. Over the next 24 hours, these two will form the exact trine. It's a trine because it's 120 degrees apart. As such, they're both in water. Sun is in Cancer and Saturn is in Pisces. Okay. Let me just, I'm just going to stop the share then and start to talk about this. I think this would be useful. Okay, we don't often talk about trines. Well, I don't anyway. And I think it's because they hardly noticed, I think would be the right word to say. When there is a square in the sky, boy, do we notice it, because it is irritating. There is an irritation between the energies concerned. They're at odds with each other. When we're talking about a trine, 120 degrees, we're talking about two things which are in the same element. So therefore, they do have an understanding. They do have familiarity with the ways of the background energy, if you like. So if the Sun, which is a fire planet, is in water, and it's Cancer, naturally ruled by the moon, the Sun is more than able to understand the ways of water. The Sun has a secret watery element to it. There's a sort of a watery thing going on around the sun. It is all things. And although it's the most obvious fire planet, we call everything a planet, it's okay in water. It understands the deepest spiritual nuances. Let's put it that way. Right. Now, let's talk about Saturn for a moment. So Saturn is an Earth planet. It's the highest Earth planet. And Saturn these days is all about the hindrances and the boundaries and the hold-ups that we get when we are being tested for something. Saturn is all about something that we sorely want, but we don't have. As a child, it's something that we really wish that we could do or have or be in charge of or be skilled at. And sadly, we don't have it, we're not skilled at it, and there's fear around it. And the fear and the soul's urgency to learn the lesson of Saturn means that during your life, you will be tested and tested and tested by the reality of this thing which is missing or you are under-resourced in, that you are not skilled in. And it is the soul's journey and the spirit's journey, I guess, and the mind's journey to learn and to grow wise and to develop on behalf of the cosmos the skills involved in Saturn's particular zodiac sign and house. Okay. Now, when I say house, that is for birth charts. We'll put the house to one side because in transiting astrology, that is not the way it works. In transiting astrology, we're just looking at the planets in the zodiac signs, and so therefore no houses are involved. So for the collective, we are considering how it feels. What is the sky describing when it comes to Saturn and the Sun in trine, the Sun being in a water sign and Saturn being in a water sign, Pisces? Okay, right. Well, the first thing to say is this is a steadying influence because the trine itself tells us that these two are in harmony in some way, in the way of the element, and they are facilitating or understanding or coaxing or harmonizing, resonating with each other. And it's not going to cause a big problem. It's not going to cause a massive testing thing where you're backed into a corner and you have to make a decision that you didn't want to make. That's not the feeling. So a Sun in Cancer is promoting family and the first lesson of love. So the water element is about lessons in love. The first zodiac sign is teaching us the first lesson in love, and then surprise, surprise, the second zodiac sign of Scorpio is teaching us the second lesson in love, and Pisces is teaching us the third lesson in love, the last zodiac sign. So the Sun is promoting the first lesson in love, and that is Cancer. And Cancer is about a personal love, so a love for oneself, but also the love that you learn about, the nurturing and love that you learn about in a family, in a clan, in a close-knit group, in the place that you'll call home. So to most people, that's with two caregivers or a single caregiver, and that caregiver forms a big attachment or bond, which the baby is learning about from the first minute of its birth and is memorizing, but not in a brain way. This is not going into the brain's filing cabinets. This is going into the learning of the soul, how to respond, how to be held, how to love, what it feels like to go through the emotions of a close bond. So the sun is promoting family, close bonds, love, the first love, and that's great. That's fine. Okay, let's put that to one side and then look at what it is that Pisces is promoting. So I said it is the third lesson in love, and it is indeed. The love with a capital L, that is from the cosmos, or is going from us to the cosmos, the love of something bigger than a sexual relationship or any relationship that you could have. It's a relationship with something much bigger. So it can be with God, it can be with spirit, it can be with a football team. If that's what you worship, that's fine. Whatever you worship, whatever you feel is out there that gives you a greater exhilaration and a fabulous feeling of love with a huge swelling. Okay, Saturn cruising through Pisces at the moment is giving us a testing time with how we see this love, how we feel about this love, whether or not this love is or has a definition, whether it's valid for us, whether it's reality. Okay, now, in that case, what is resonating is the first lesson of love and the last lesson of love, with a little bit of toughness, a little bit of, is this real? Come on, don't be such a fool. Saturn is kind of saying, don't get taken in, be realistic. You can't always have your head in the clouds and believe the fantasies and the illusions of Pisces. You have got to come to earth and get the tough lessons of earth. It is not all about great white light and, love everlasting, unconditional, forever, being embraced by the Spirit of God. Saturn's saying, no, I don't think so. Let's get some realism. So you can see now that there's no big issue going on here, is there? But what there is an opportunity for is for you to think about what I've just said, and give it some thought, and think about how the cosmos has structured love, and think about how it has structured reality and illusion, disillusion, and the lessons in love that we are here to take on as a human being. There we go. Now, I'm not going to go any further than that, because I actually think that you're best left to your own interpretation of what I've said, and your own answer to what I've said, and your own thoughts about what I've said. Any more would just be preaching. There is enough there for you to work from any spiritual belief, and with any religious beliefs that you have, or anything else. There's just enough for you to figure your way in that. And okay, that's hopefully that was useful. And I will be here tomorrow, and we'll look at some more daily astrology. It was lovely to talk to you. Namaste, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.